WMBD This Morning.
After years of population loss, Illinois is officially losing one congressional seat. The state will now have 17 U.S. representatives instead of 18. So what's the plan for the 18 districts representative Darren LaHood? We spoke Monday morning and I've got his answer in this week's On the Record. Well, Darren, you know, with the state of Illinois losing one congressional seat officially, we go from 18 seats to 17. What does that really mean for you in the future of being an Illinois congressman?
Well, it's disappointing, first of all, to see continued population loss in Illinois and to lose a member of Congress because of our population loss over the last 10 years. But in some ways, it shouldn't be surprising. You know, Illinois continues to want to raise your taxes. We continue to have a pension system that's $140 billion in unfunded liability. We don't have balanced budgets, and so we see people continue to leave the state of Illinois. People are leaving with their feet out of Illinois, and so we've lost population. And if you look at states that have gained population, Texas, Arizona, Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, the one thing they have in common is they have low taxes or no state income tax, have a good, vibrant business climate. They have term limits in most of those states on their state legislators, and they have a solvent pension system.
Let's talk about the American Jobs Plan a little bit that President Biden is really trying to push to politicians and Americans that it needs to pass this infrastructure bill. What are your thoughts on it? Do you think it needs to pass? Is there changes that you want to see?
Well, I'm frustrated with President Biden. I went to his inauguration on January 20th and I listened to his speech. He actually gave a pretty good speech talking about bipartisanship, coming together, working with Republicans. But we've seen just the opposite in the 100 days. It's kind of been a bait and switch. He baited us all into thinking he wanted to do that, but he's up to 60 executive orders that have circumvented the Congress, canceled the XL pipeline. We see gas prices, energy prices up over $1 what they were under President Trump. Have an unmitigated disaster at the southern border that he hasn't sought Republican help or support on that. And then you look at the infrastructure bill that you mentioned, right? Talking about a $4 trillion infrastructure bill by raising taxes. Now, we can have a debate on infrastructure and the definition. My definition is roads and bridges and locks and dams and broadband and tunnels and airports. That's what we ought to do. President Biden's now talking about childcare and housing and just this boondoggle of other things that have nothing to do with infrastructure.
Illinois Congressman Adam Kinzinger was on Face the Nation. He said currently the Republican Party is kind of like the Titanic. Do you agree with him?
I think the Republican Party is going to come back very strong in the next election. Look at the freshman class we elected as Republicans in the House in 2020. A record number of women, record number of minorities, record number of veterans. We picked up 14 seats. We were supposed to lose close to 20. So we're building upon that record of electing women and minorities from across the country. We won seats from Miami to Minnesota to New York to California. So, and that's on our principles and our values and what we stand for, the rule of law, standing up for the free enterprise system, standing up for workers, putting workers first. That's what we stand for. And so I feel very confident on where the Republican Party is headed. And again, I think we'll fire Nancy Pelosi in 18 months.
Is there kind of a hesitancy with the Republican Party in general for people to get vaccinated, to promote vaccinations and stuff like that? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, there shouldn't be. I've promoted on social media myself getting the vaccine. My family's gotten the vaccine. But you shouldn't listen to politicians or elected officials. You ought to listen to your medical professional, your own doctor or a nurse or someone you respect in the medical profession, and they'll tell you this is the best thing for individuals is to get the vaccine. And I've encouraged people to do that. And again, listen to your medical professionals on that. Secondly, there's a lot of conspiracy theories out there. People need to stay away from that. They need to look at the science, talk to medical professionals. The vast majority, if not all of the Republicans in Congress have gotten the vaccine. And again, President Trump's gotten the vaccine and many others. And it's, again, in the best interest of this country and the future that we get the vaccine.